By the authority vested in me, I hereby declare this meeting of the Conshohocken Borough Council duly open and ready to conduct any business that may come before it. If everyone will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you do roll call, Steph?
Yes, President Leonard. Councilmember Totino.
Present.
Councilmember Serna.
Here.
Councilmember Kingsley.
Here.
Councilmember Barton.
Here.
Vice President Sokolowski.
Here.
President Leonard.
Here.
Mayor Aronson.
Here.
And we'll note for the record that Councilmember Elam is absent. Thank you.
Thank you, Steph. Is there any public comment this evening for any of the agenda items? Okay, Britt, please note for the record there is no public comment. The first item on the agenda is presentations, and if Mayor Aronson could come up, we're going to do a recognition of Chief Metz for 38 years of service.
Before we jump into the official speeches, I did want to call up a representative for our Masonic Lodge and also someone who helps with the Arts Festival for a presentation, Glenn Quinn. All right. Chief, one of the many roles that you fill within the borough is helping us to put on the Arts Festival and Car Show every year. I know it seems arbitrary and kind of routine, but all the work that you put in to make it happen, your sergeants, all the work that they put in to make it happen, our emergency services staff, the presence that our officers have there to make sure everyone's well-behaved is greatly appreciated. And we, all of us from the Destination Conshohocken team, want to present you with a plaque as our thanks.
I'd also like to say, Chief, from Fritz Lodge, whenever we have an event at the lodge, all it takes is a phone call to you, and you put up no parking signs. You gave us great support for everything that we have going on at Fritz Lodge. You've always been there for us. You never said no, and we greatly appreciate that as a Masonic organization.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Chief, you want to sit, stand? What do you?
Depends on what you got.
So George, I knew this was a speech that I'd one day have to give. So I've been working on it for a little while, and as I've worked on it, I realized, no one could possibly capture 38 years of what service looks like or means to this community. As our police chief, you've seen us through so much, from COVID to Black Lives Matter to historic flooding to the vandalism that hit our cemeteries across the area last year. These challenges were extraordinary, and you met them with compassion, humility, honesty, and professionalism. In particular, I'll never forget your public words after the murder of George Floyd, which gave our entire borough the strong, calm hand that we needed during a time of tremendous national tension, and honestly, something only you could do. Equally as important has been your time and openness to our community groups, which very recently included a police town hall and de-escalation training right here in the department. You have also given your unwavering support for my community events, including bike safety training, CPR training, community shredding, and ID theft prevention, showing your ongoing commitment to building real relationships between our officers and our residents. You've said on a number of occasions that the idea of a warrior cop is outdated, that the police department gets its authority from the residents that they serve. So these relationships are not only critical, but sacred. And I'll take that wisdom and mantra with me for as long as I serve in this office as well. So I do listen. I can't end without getting a little personal. When you were first named chief, everyone, literally everyone, told me, oh, George Metz, yeah, good guy. His dad's a legend. And George, these last few years have now built your own legacy. And your 38 years will leave a lasting impact on Conshohocken, and they already have. I say thank you as a friend, thank you on behalf of all of our residents, and thank you from all of us here at the Borough. You will be tremendously missed, but we cannot be happier for you. And thank you.
Thank you.
They're going to make you take a picture up there.
Up there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you too. At least for the first one.
Job, George.
Yeah, if the officers want to jump in for this family. You know, I think it's so terrible. It is. Couple more. Come on, Kathleen.
Okay, council out, family in.
You were a legend.
Yes, I was just going to say, that you are the truly.
Our officers. Kelly, you should get up there.
You don't mind, do you? No.
Push in a little bit, like you like each other.
Hang on, I gotta switch.
Why isn't Kelly up there? Where's Kelly?
She's right there. You gotta go up for one.
Come on, he'll take you in it.
How long without you, right?
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
Can I get a word? Be brief.
As long as you would like.
Thank you. You gave me an opportunity.
Go, do it.
I thought I'd keep it together. But, you know, your faith and trust in me meant a lot. I always felt supported. Staff, council, mayor, my officers.
George, really?
they all mean so much. But, we can talk about growth and accomplishments and all those things. And I'd just like to say some words on what hasn't happened in the 5 years I've been the chief of police. We haven't been sued.
Thank you, George.
We haven't had one founded personnel complaint. And we haven't had any labor grievances or anything like that on the right. And I'd love to take credit for that, just like I'd love to take credit for the low crime that we have in this town. But it's really a testament to them and their professionalism and how they get it and, and do the right thing. And that's something for me to be proud of. And maybe that could be my legacy. But we got through some really crappy times. And we came out unscathed. I think stronger, looking better, too, to our community. So, again, thank you. My family, my wife. Like I said, I was never alone. Never.
Here's the damage done.
See this? This is the human side that needs to go.
That's what's quiet council meetings.
Right there.
Let's do one more clap. All right. So much for makeup. Okay. You okay? Yeah. Zach, in that tan shirt. And that's his girlfriend. And then this is a what, the box? Well, that's sad. Yeah, thank that exit. Wow. I know, I have to continue. Should have music. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. There are two items this evening on the consent agenda. The first is approve and adopt the May 3rd and May 17th regular meeting minutes. And the second is approve the May ending treasurer's report and accounts payable. So if council is inclined this evening, the first motion is to approve and adopt the May 3rd and May 17th regular meeting minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to approve the May ending treasurer's report and accounts payable in the amount of $666,210.11.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is new business, and the first item is to conduct an interview for the zoning hearing board alternate position. The candidate is Carmen Mustiano? Is that correct?
Close enough.
I was trying. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming in, and thank you for your interest in the position of zoning board alternate. I know I'm supposed to have questions ready. Anybody else have a question ready?
Sure, why do you
Thank
want
you.
to serve as zoning hearing board alternate member?
Well, I've been living in the community for 30 years. I'm very interested in what goes on in the town. I think for zoning and, these huge office towers and apartment complexes that we have, in my opinion, we don't have the infrastructure to be able to handle it. And I felt that way back in 2005, and I decided to run for council at that time for parking issues, traffic issues, and really nothing has changed in all that time frame. So I've always been interested in those issues. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time in the past to be able to get involved since I have done some traveling for work and whatnot. But I've seen many different cities in my travels, and I think I could really bring a perspective to the commission just from knowing how other cities are designed and the items that they've done from, my experience in the past that way as well. So that's why I'm interested. I think the alternate position would be a good start for me, but eventually I would actually like to join the commission. So that's really where I'm at with it.
That answers a lot of our questions. The one question I'm going to ask you that I just want you to pinpoint a little bit further for me is, what do you believe the role is of a zoning board member?
Well, I think, from my understanding of it, a proposal will come forth from perhaps a developer or somebody that wants to buy a property, and they may have an idea for that property, for example, knocking down a single home to build a bunch of row homes or a side-by-side, something like that. The height of the building or the house, how high can it be? Is it going to match the other homes on the particular street, etc.? So my understanding is, you really have to look at all the data and come to, a decision.
Thank you.
Carmen, have you attended any of the zoning hearing board meetings?
I have in the past, going back to, the 05, 06,
Right.
07 zone. I haven't recently, but I have in the past, yes.
And you just said you would be interested in a permanent position if one were to become available.
Eventually, yes.
Good to know.
And I do have a question. On your resume, it mentioned that you were involved in a youth organization in Conshohocken. Which organization is that, or was that?
I don't remember the exact name, but it was the Conshohocken Youth Foundation that was run by Bob Stokely at that time.
Yep, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Carmen? Okay, well, thank you for coming in. Thank you for your interest, and we will be in touch.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is consider approving 331 West 7th Avenue professional service escrow release number 1 and the final in the amount of $3,572.21. Actually, I'm going to take a moment. We have a lot of things to consider approving, so I'm going to go through each item and then go back for the motion. So the second item is consider approving payment application number 1 for Lenny Electric Corporation, Inc. for the Fayette Street pedestrian crossing project. The next item is consider authorizing the stipulation agreement to reduce the assessment value for 191 Washington Street. Item E is consider approving the second amended to the collective bargaining agreement for AFSCME. The next item is considering approving a pole attachment agreement with PICO for the installation of a license plate recognition cameras. Item G is consider approving the deed of dedication, land swamp deeds, and amendment to the access easements for 51 Washington Street. Item H is consider approving 51 Washington Street Financial Security Escrow Release Number 4 and the final in the amount of $282,582.23. So the first item for council to consider approval is a motion to approve 331 West 7th Avenue Professional Services Escrow Release Number 1 and the final in the amount of $3,572.21.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item, the motion is to approve payment application number 1 for Lenny Electric Corporation, Inc. for the Fayette Street Pedestrian Crossing Project in the amount of $134,869.50.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item D, if council is so inclined, the motion is to authorize a stipulation agreement to reduce the assessment value for 191 Washington Street to $8 million, resulting in a total decrease in the tax value of $21,910.50 for tax years 2022 and 2023.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to approve the second amendment to the collective bargaining agreement for the AFSCME union for the years 2024, 2025, and 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. If council is inclined, the next item is to approve a pole attachment agreement with PICO for the installation of license plate recognition cameras contingent upon final approval by PICO and review by the borough manager and borough solicitor.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. If council is inclined this evening, the motion is to approve deed of dedication, land swap deeds, and amendment to the access easements for 51 Washington Street, contingent upon approval by the borough engineer and subsequently recorded in a form acceptable to the borough solicitor.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next motion is to approve 51 Washington Street Financial Security Escrow Release Number 4 and final in the amount of $282,582.23. This is contingent upon the developer providing updated legal description and related exhibits based on the as-built conditions for the deed of dedication, easements, and the land swaps for review and approval by the borough solicitor, and subsequently recording them in a form acceptable to the borough solicitor.
I'll make that motion.
Shoo.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is under unfinished business. The first item is consider approving Resolution 2023-15, approving an amendment to the approval of preliminary final subdivision and land development for Matson Mill. So the motion this evening is to approve Resolution 2023-15, approving an amendment of the approval of the preliminary final subdivision and land development for Matson Mill.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The last item on the agenda is consider appointing an applicant for the EAC. So the motion this evening is to appoint Mia Barbero to the EAC.
I'll make that motion. Oh, sorry.
I'll second it.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Is there anyone this evening for public comment? Okay. In that case, we will continue on with Mayor Matters.
Thank you, President Leonard. Just an official duty tonight. Per section 1123.1 of the State Borough Code, I, Mayor Yaniv Aronson, delegate charge and control of the police force to Lieutenant David Lennon, effective July 1, 2023, and continuing until otherwise directed under my powers concerning the police department of the Borough of Conshohocken.
Thank you, Mayor Aronson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke, and congratulations, Lieutenant Lennon.
So do we call acting chief again?
Yes, what title do we address the new lieutenant/chief as now?
Acting chief.
Acting chief, so we would say chief?
You could easily shorten it to chief.
Okay, thank you. There we go. And we will, believe me, I do. See, everything I just had to read, I'll shorten anything. Okay, so Ms. Barton, do you have any comments?
No, I don't. And thank you and welcome.
Just
Kathleen?
thanking George for all his service and welcome
Yeah.
our new acting chief.
Okay. Adrian?
Just have a safe 4th of July.
I don't have anything, but we don't have a working session, so.
We do not.
So, yes, happy 4th of July. I don't have anything else for this evening.
Okay. Tina?
No, I have nothing for this evening.
Oh.
The fireworks.
I had it, yep. Fireworks and
Go ahead,
soapbox derby.
Adrian.
I
You're
am
jumping
sorry.
out of your chair.
There is something that I did want to mention in case anybody wanted to join this, and it's very small and I can't read that. There is going to be a public hearing for the let's look up the screen. Cleveland Cliffs Plate. This is a development that's going on, and I think that they were just looking for, wanting to make it known so that if the public was interested in giving their input, they were looking for that.
Thank you. So I again will just remind everyone that we will not have a work session in July. We will meet again the third Wednesday of July. The fireworks are July 23rd, and the soapbox derby.
No,
Oh,
July
God.
23rd.
July 3rd, and the soapbox derby is July 4th. And congratulations, Chief Lennon and Chief Metz. Thank you for your service. And with that, we will say, meeting adjourned.